Hey, what's up, everybody? True Boxing here. Thank you for coming back to get hit with the truth. So today we're doing a what's next on reigning WBC featherweight champion Ray Vargas following a hard-fought draw that he had with Nick Ball on the Joshua Ngannou undercard that took place on the Zone pay-per-view on March 8th. Now, before we get into that, if you can smash the like button, leave a comment, or subscribe to the channel, I really do appreciate any and all support that I can get as I continue to build my channel here. So, you know, it was a good performance out of Ray Vargas. The first half of the fight, he owned the fight. He was out working and out hustling Ball. And then he did kind of what he did with Mark Magsayo a couple years back when he beat him for the title. He just kind of took his foot off the gas pedal or ran out of steam, or both, in the second half of the fight, and Nick Ball took over. I personally think Vargas, because he's not a big-time puncher, when he's taking control of a fight, he stays in the pocket as he starts to wear down. He stays in the pocket trying to knock the guy out because he's been in complete control. Because that's how I felt against Magsayo in that first half of that fight, that he was in complete control. He had the height and reach advantage. Everything was working, and I feel like he went for the knockout against Magsayo, and that's why he almost got knocked out. And then the fight with Nick Ball, you know, the couple knockdowns were scored. One of them should have been ruled a push down. It was not a knockdown, but that's what led to the fight not being ruled a split decision win for Vargas. So he probably should have got a split decision win, but be that as it may, he still retained his WBC title. So now the big question is, what's next for Ray Vargas following this draw? Well, what we do know is that a rematch with Nick Ball is likely not in the picture, because Nick Ball, I just read yesterday, is likely going to return in June to challenge Raymond Ford for the WBA title. You know, that was a fight that Eddie Hearn wanted to make because in a unification bout anyways. He wanted them to fight, and now it looks like they're going to just follow through with those plans anyway. So, but that's not confirmed. But I don't think a rematch is going to happen between Ball and Vargas. As much as I would love to see it, I think they should fight again, but I don't think they're going to. Then you got, next we go to Luis Alberto Lopez in a title unification bout. Now, if these two sides could come together, if Top Rank and whoever Vargas is with, because Vargas was with the PBC, and as far as I know, he still is, but I think this fight was made with Nick Ball because it was a mandatory fight. Nick Ball was with Eddie Hearn. I think, I think everybody's kind of working with Saudi Arabia now. You know, even the PBC sending their guys over to fight because they're big fights and they make a lot of money. I think Vargas and Lopez would be great. It'd be great for, you know, Mexico. It'd be great for the lightweight division to have these two guys mix it up. And both their styles locking up, I think, makes for a great fight. But, and it was a title unification bout. But I don't know. Right? As of right now, I mean, I'm want to lean towards the less likely. But I do think it's possible, just because they both, in their last fights, they fought a week apart from each other, and they both fought mandatory challengers. So now they're in optional mode. So this fight would make a lot of sense. But I don't think it's going to happen. But I would love to see it, and I hope it does. There is a chance of it. Lee Wood's out. Lee Wood's moving to 130. Brandon Figueroa seems to be out of the mix. You know, I couldn't understand what was going on because Vargas and Figueroa were supposed to fight last year. And he was the interim champion, Figueroa was, after beating Mark Magsayo. Now, I don't know what the hell's going on, Figueroa, because they're not showing him as the interim champion anymore, and he's not even ranked in any of the governing bodies. So, I don't know, unless he's taking time off or doing something or whatever, Brandon Figueroa and Ray Vargas looks dead. It doesn't look like that's a possibility. Mauricio Lara has moved to 130, so that's out. Then there's a showdown with Josh Warrington, the former two-time champ. Not likely, because Warrington looks like he's moving up to 130 for a rematch with Lee Wood. Rafael Espinosa, the undefeated WBO champion, would love to see this fight, but another guy that's tied with Top Rank. So, would love to see it, but I also think Espinosa might be in mandatory mode or considering a rematch with Robeisy Ramirez. So we'll see. Then there's Robeisy Ramirez, a Top Rank guy, likely considering a rematch with Espinosa. So not sure a fight with Vargas can be made, but would love to see it. But I don't think it's likely. I already said Nick Ball wasn't likely. And then there's Joet Gonzalez, the former world title challenger, multiple-time world title challenger. I mean, in all reality, if Ray Vargas is not with the PBC for some reason anymore, I think a fight with Gonzalez would make a lot of sense if he can't get another big fight, because Gonzalez has been there, done that. It'd be a good all-Mexican showdown. But I do still think that he's tied with the PBC, and I don't think a fight with Gonzalez would be there. Some of the other guys that are out there that are being considered, you know, that I think should be considered. Kolmatov got the loss. He's tied with Top Rank. I'm not seeing it. Raymond Ford's now the WBA champion. Not likely, because Raymond Ford, I think after the Nick Ball fight, win or lose, is probably moving up to 130. Arnold K. Guy is highly ranked in the WBO. He's waiting around for a WBO title shot, so I don't think that one would be possible with Vargas. Ruben Villa, he's actually from, I was actually there today, he's actually from Salinas. And he fought Navarrete for the title a few years back, came up just short. After being knocked down a couple times early, he fought his ass off against Navarrete and lost a close decision. He's the WBC's #2 contender. I definitely think this fight's possible, but I don't think the WBC would order 2 mandatories in a row, but they might, because Vargas really hasn't defended the title since he won it a year and a half prior. So we'll see, but I do think that fight could have some legs to it because Villa is the #2 contender. Then there's like Sergio Sanchez is up there, Stephen Fulton Jr. If they're both with the PBC, I could see Fulton and Vargas fight each other, absolutely. And then Leonardo Damian, highly rated by the IBF. So I don't see that one. But Vargas, he's definitely got options. And I think the PBC might be tying him down, but I could definitely see him and like Stephen Fulton in an optional fight. Or I could even see, I mean, if Brandon Figueroa is still with the PBC, I could definitely always see that fight. And then there's definitely other options out there, like unifications and stuff, if he's no longer with the PBC. But I say Vargas should push for unifications right now with like Luis Alberto Lopez and Rafael Espinoza, because they're all Mexican showdowns, and maybe Saudi Arabia will put the money up for the fights on an undercard. I mean, Saudi Arabia has been shelling out a lot of money to get these guys to come over and fight. So we just got to wait and see what happens. But that's it. That's what I got. That's my what's next on reigning WBC featherweight champion of the world, Ray Vargas, following his draw in which he retained the WBC title against Nick Ball on March 8th on the Joshua Nagano DAZN pay-per-view card. So I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, smash the like button, leave a comment, or subscribe to the channel. I appreciate any and all support. This is True Boxing. You've been hit with the truth.